Congratulations, guys.
Taki Braden. Nastoya. We would absolutely recommend Braden. Braden.
We won't get that part. No, I'll put that as like the main picture, the opening. Tanya, that's this. Originally, when we moved up to Victoria in around 2001, my parents and grandparents started to buy, renovate and sell property during the boom of that period. And a lot of my school holidays and my weekends and after school and any free time that we did have was pretty much spent going to open homes and looking at houses, or spending time at the properties that they'd owned, renovating them, putting them on the market and then eventually selling them. And I think initially being involved in that whole process and being involved in property from a young age really got me interested in property.
Why did we choose Braden? Because he's honest and reliable.
Because we could tell from all of his previous clients how happy they were.
Yeah, I think just based off social media, seeing Braden's presence, his happy smiling face, he's easy to get along with, easy to deal with, he's personable, so I think, you know, people wanting to buy a house want to deal with someone like that. And I think it's important to have a honest agent who can help tackle children.
Based on the fact that you just make them feel good about the transaction, make them feel good about buying a house, make them feel good about having to come to a building and test, and make it exciting and make every part of the transaction exciting and fun. Because I think real estate gets taken way too seriously, and it should be something that's enjoyed and fun and people actually enjoy doing. And that's why I love coming to work every day, and I want other people to feel the same way I do about real estate.
Buying a house through you was amazing. You made everything so easy. I thought it was going to be a little bit stressful having settlement of our old house and our new house on the same day, but everything went perfectly, and every time I rang you throughout with my stupid little questions, you were always there with the answers, and you just made it really easy.
So I'm definitely not one to beat my chest, and I to be honest, had to actually go and check how many homes I've sold. I have no idea, but I think one of my biggest achievements today is being able to actually go back and check and look and realise that in my short 3.5 years in real estate, I've managed to, I think, change the lives of over 98 people, which in 3.5 years have bought or sold through me, which is, I think, a pretty incredible thing to be able to say and to be able to do. To know that I've helped someone buy their house or sell their house is huge, and that's, I think, to be able, even if I walked away from this career now, knowing that I made those friends and connected with those people and made a difference in their lives is really, really cool. I'm proud, I don't like to tell people, but I'm proud of the fact that at 22 I bought my second home without the help of my parents or anyone else, and I think that's what actually helped me get into the real estate industry, is that help of my parents or anyone else, and I think that's what actually helped me get into the real estate industry, is that love of property and wanting to, I suppose, put my money where my mouth is, show people that not only do I like to sell homes, I like to buy them too myself, and I think that's actually helped me understand the whole process a lot more.
Okay, so having 2 kids obviously makes selling a house quite difficult. So we obviously felt very at ease with Braden, and he sort of told us from the start not to stress about it, even though, you know, your agent says that it is still a bit stressful. Anyway, 1 open house in, 2 contracts on the table for us that we got to choose from, and we sold our house in the first 4 days, so pretty amazing.
Can't do much better than that.
Well, our first impression of you was that you were very professional, very approachable, very friendly, and you knew what you were talking about. And why did we want to buy a house through you?
We weren't planning on buying the house. Well, we weren't planning on buying it, so you rang and you talked us around until we realised that we wanted the house.
Can you edit that out?
That's perfect. No,
Oh my
this
God.
is real.
I'm not one to go out there and try and be the best or be the biggest or be the #1 agent on the coast or anything like that. I'm 100% me. I don't like overdressing or I suppose being a typical agent. I just like to be me. I think being authentic and being real with my clients is. I like to think that's why that I do well, and that's why I get a lot of referral business, and that's why I walk away with friends from the industry, because I'm not one person at work and one person at home.
I love Braden because he gave me my Braden bear. When we got our new house.
Oh, I never ever thought that I would say this about a real estate agent, but not only are you the person who sold us their house, but you now are.
Aw, thanks.
Because we really didn't want a real estate agent.
I like to walk away knowing that I've given every single client a world-class customer experience, and we're big on promoting that, and our office is really big on that sort of culture where we've taken out several awards on customer experience and creating that sort of headspace that it's really focusing on the client and creating an experience for them that they won't ever forget. And we utilise all sorts of different bits and pieces where we'll make sure we've got door ribbons on the door when they arrive after they come to collect their keys. The collecting of the keys is a whole other thing on its own. We do a huge key ceremony. We get the whole office out the back. We all come together. We have the client sitting at the front of the office, and we all come through applauding and clapping and making a big fuss, and people burst into tears and people get all embarrassed, and it's one of those. It's sometimes a real heart-melting moment seeing how excited people are, and they talk about having never been treated like that with any experience that they've ever had with buying or with interacting with any sort of industry. And I think it's really important that we make them feel really special, and they can walk away crying or laughing or embarrassed, and and at the end of the day making them feel really good about buying their house or selling their house through us.
Well, Braden was very easygoing and very happy to see us. He greeted us like we were friends straight from the word go. And
very likeable.
Yeah,
very
likeable, helpful.
Yeah.
Always answered all of our questions. He keeps in touch with his clients, so whether it be social media, text or mail, snail mail, it's always nice to get a little letter in the mail from Braden.
I'm terribly guilty of being a bit of a Facebook addict, and I think I've been told before that I was on Facebook too much by many people, and I needed to somehow turn that around so that I was using that in my business. So I decided to sort of use my strengths and focus that energy and that whole side of my business around utilising social media to connect with my clients on a much more human level. And I love getting involved in all that sort of stuff and running competitions and getting my clients to interact with me through those platforms by whether it's through videos and making my clients look like they're having an absolute ball, and which I hope they are. Showing how much fun we have behind the scenes, and sort of, again, really humanising the transaction, humanising what we do, and showing people that it is a fun thing. It should be a fun thing. So we also promote all our sellers' properties through social media as well. So we're using that targeted audience base to push our homes and our sellers' properties through social media and through target advertising on sort of a next generation level. And we're doing a lot of trial and error type marketing where we're starting to take real estate to the next level and actually target people, utilise what they're looking for and use target advertising then so that they're getting ads popping up from us and Realtor Hooker about homes they're actually interested in. Utilising apps like HomePass, the integration that has with the domain. People are amazed when they can come to an open home, and not only do they automatically get checked in as they're coming up to the door, but they can walk up, tell us their phone number, and all the details automatically populate. And I think that in itself is the very start of creating a connection with the client that shows that not only we're professional, not only are we a step ahead with technology, but and again, I think that's becoming standard through the industry anyway, but people are still blown away by that stuff, and I think it's really cool that we can kind of connect with them immediately and show them that that's how we want to interact with them. And being able to send immediate follow-ups after the open home, thanking them for coming to the open home, following up with them the next week, have you found a house yet? Sending out those, it's bulk messages for us, and it's easy stuff for us to be doing it behind the scenes, but to the client it shows that you do care about them and it's not just a quick turnover, quick transaction. You want to make sure that you see every person you interact with through to the end of their real estate. So I love working with my local community as well. A big part of my business is sort of interacting with the community on a great level, getting involved in my local schools. Everyone goes to fates and all that sort of thing and does all that sort of stuff, but I like to really take that to another level in that I've run my own fundraisers. I started an initiative called the Cystic Fibrosis Easter Egg Hunt for a Cure, which is now in its 3rd year. We've had over 1,600 attendees and we've raised approximately $1,700 for Cystic Fibrosis Queensland. We also do a lot of other fundraisers through the office, so we do the Mount Warning climb, the Great Strides walk as well on the beach, and a few other fundraisers throughout the year that have become regular, and I kind of have volunteered myself as the person that kind of helps run all of those as well, along with our fantastic customer service team, which obviously is brilliant that we're helping to fundraise and we're connecting with those people as well, but taking it the next step further is obviously what that's actually doing for the business, and it's utilising the LJ Hooker brand to sort of push our own business, push our own name out there, and I suppose there's a little bit of a hidden agenda in that, where by creating that trust and that connection with people, it further enables us to create an audience that essentially become raving advocates for the business. I'm a big believer in taking the real estate agent away from the real estate transaction. I think a lot of agents get too focused on it being about them and the transaction being about them, or their self-promotion, and a lot of people tend to forget that we do this day in, day out, and for these people buying and selling homes, it's something they do every 10 or 15 years, and it's an incredibly exciting, frightening, nerve-wracking experience for them, and I think you've got to sort of step away sometimes and come to realise that making that really special and making that a really exciting time for them is going to help you grow your business and create those raving clients and those people that come back time and time again, and becoming that person that people trust and want to refer you to.
Would you say that Uncle Braden should sell some more houses? Yeah?
Yes.
Absolutely would recommend Braden 100%. Have done and will continue to do so in the future.
It couldn't have gone better. Put it this way, nobody sells and buys a house in 2 weeks. Unless you got Braden land as your agent.
Several times, absolutely, any day.
Whenever I'm at work or someone's thinking of selling a house, I always recommend you.
That's powerful. Sweet.
You're amazing.
That's cool. Oh, okay, so say that again. Say that again.
You are amazing.
And action.
How did he get a house? By paying it.
That's what I want.
We weren't playing on blind.
Are you going to edit me out saying edit that out?
Yes, I'll let you out saying it. I've become friends with a lot of my clients. I connect. Keep saying connect. Stop saying connect. What was the last part? Oh, so recommending. Would you recommend me to friends and family?
Absolutely not. For our secret surprise. Papa, whereabouts are we going to go to?
I have to really, okay, so we can buy music.
Oh.
The other house bit dirty.
You're such a creep.
Action.
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 Ready?
Yep.
Are you, is it still rolling?
Go.
Okay. Harper, get out.
Harper, do you want to come sit with me?
Thank goodness we've got such a good real estate agent.
Really got me interested in property from the beginning, and I think really, oh my god, we're gonna die. Okay, maybe this isn't a good idea in the car. Sweet.
Is that good?
Good, that's perfect, I reckon.